Welcome to the Mentor Course Management System. We're going to focus on the assessment tools within the course management system. That's this set of functions. Learning objectives is the place where learning objectives for courses are defined and also linked to other program or set of program objectives. And so the first thing we're going to do is actually go to a different browser and look at a set of learning objectives and how they're defined programmatically. So learning objectives are defined underneath a school. So this school has a curricular program, and this program has a set of learning goals and objectives. So these are the goals and these are the objectives. And we can add course objectives here, add goals, we can redefine these, and we can also define rubric traits that would be used to in a program assessment model. So this is where we can define rubrics and learning outcomes at the program level. So these get mapped into specific courses. So if I look at the map courses for this curricular program, there are specific courses to which these learning objectives are mapped, and then there are general course mappings across all semesters into specific subject codes and course number ranges. So essentially we are mapping these undergraduate learning objectives to all courses in the School of Business by this mapping. So you can do individual course mapping or sort of broad stroke mapping of outcomes. So that's how the learning objectives get into the system, and what I'd like to then show you is how these learning objectives are handled within the course. So I'm going to go into an assignment here. This is a course in our School of Business, and I'll just pick on one of these assignments, and we're going to go to the Outcomes and Rubrics page. And here you see that same set of learning objectives, and this instructor has checked off this assignment as being related to all of these learning objectives. So it's very simple for them to do that. They simply click on that and they can check the boxes and record their selection of learning objectives. So this allows the instructor to link their assignment to these learning objectives. And what that does is, on the program side, it's going to allow us to do a random sampling of any student work that's been submitted to this particular assignment based on that link to those learning objectives. So that's an explanation of how those learning objectives get in to the course, and one of the primary functions of those learning objectives is. Now, under assessment tools, you can see here the same set of learning objectives, and instructors can actually define their own rubric traits for these learning objectives and then use them to grade with. So we allow instructors to link their rubric traits to the programmatically defined objectives. There are also available here the rubric traits that are defined by the program. So if the instructor wanted to use the programmatically defined rubric traits in a rubric to grade with, they can do that. And when they use programmatically defined rubric traits in a rubric for grading, we can use that data and aggregate it back at the program level. So effectively you can leverage faculty grading for assessment purposes. So that's a real handy feature. Preset rubric trait scales. When an instructor goes to create a rubric, they can define rubric trait scales for themselves that they can use and reuse. So what I'm going to do is just pause for a moment and go back to my own account and show. Okay, so this is actually one of my own courses. It's got a different set of programmatically defined learning outcomes on the learning objectives page. And this is the preset rubric trait scales, and so I have these defined. So when I go to create a rubric, I can choose one of these and I don't have to recreate the scale. I may want to do the definition of what an excellent job is in a particular rubric trait, but at least I don't have to recreate the scale and the descriptor. So this is just a shortcut. Course error is a function that is used in our School of Business. AIR stands for Assessment Improvement Report, and this allows faculty to report either at the course level or at the assignment level changes that they've made based on assessment results. So it's a nice way to sort of monitor how faculty are responding to programmatic assessment results. And then there are reports at the program level where those AIR reports are aggregated and displayed and can be they're linked to specific outcomes, so you can sort of look at how faculty are responding to findings, say, on critical thinking or writing and so forth. Student assessment is a function that was actually developed for our School of Engineering. They use this function to apply rubrics to individual students. So I'm going to hop over to one of their courses and show you that. Okay, so I'm in an engineering course, and the title of this particular student assessment is called Competencies C and E. This is how they define their student competencies. This particular assessment was defined programmatically on the program page, and it's pushed into each course. And so these student assessments are mapped to specific courses. So when I go into this assessment, Mentor displays a list of the students in the course, and it shows a summary score on the rubric. That's not really the point of this, is to calculate a percentage score. Mentor just does that. But I'll show you what this particular rubric looks like. The competencies, basic knowledge and skills, they have analytic skills, problem solving skills, communication skills, and breadth of learning. This is a general definition of what that rubric trait is, and then they have a scale that runs from 5 to 1 point. And so they, at the end of the term, ask their faculty to assess each student on the appropriate rubric traits for that course. So this must have been a laboratory course or had a laboratory component, and so this instructor was assessing students both on laboratory skills and knowledge and learning skills. I think the other competency, number D, or letter D, is design management skills. Again, that data gets aggregated and reported at the program level, and so the school can get school-wide reports on how the students are doing on each of those traits, and they can drill down on each course, and then they can actually drill down on individual students and identify student deficiencies with that data. Finally, Bloom's taxonomy calculator. This is sort of more of a fun little thing. What this does is you can take any text, doesn't really matter how long it is, paste it into this field and click calculate, and Mentor will come up with a Bloom's taxonomy score. So what it's doing is it's counting how many times any of these terms appear in that text, and there are 4 times. So if you know about Bloom's taxonomy, we originally designed this for faculty to get a measure, a gauge on the text of their own assignments and what they were asking their students to do. Because what we found in one of our assessments of critical thinking and writing was students were doing okay on sort of knowledge comprehension sort of stuff, but they weren't doing the synthesis evaluation stuff. And so we thought, if we asked them to look at their assignment text, they might get some sense of where in Bloom's taxonomy they're actually asking their students to perform. There's a second taxonomy. There's a revised taxonomy that we have in here that a user suggested to us that has a slightly different set of terms. And one of the things that we're going to do in the future is make the logic a little fuzzy. So rather than matching a term exactly, we'll probably match just the root of that term, and then the suffixes on the various terms will get counted as well. So in a nutshell, that's assessment tools. We haven't done a lot on the program side. We'll do that in a different video and talk about how the program assessment tools work and interact with the data that's in the course management system. So if you have questions, feel free. It looks like I am logged out of my portfolio, so let me pause. So if you have questions, feel free to visit our website. Course management here is the particular page concerned with the course management system. Send us an email, give us a call. Thank you.